responding anti-Islamist. Was the aorta of Muhammad cut off by the god, or did he die by poison? Have you ever found yourself in a situation where the bigot anti-Islamist questions you about Islam, or Muhammad, the messenger of God, and puts you in an awkward state? Questions such as,
do you know that your prophet died of poison? Do you know that Allah killed your prophet? According to Quran, if Muhammad were to invent a false revelation, or make up verses of the Quran, Allah will kill him by severing his aorta. In chapter 69, verse 44-46 of the Quran, states that, and if Muhammad had made up about us some false sayings, we would have seized him by the right hand, then we would have cut from him the aorta, and your authentic tradition of the Prophet, that is Sahih al-Bukhari, confirms that he died as his aorta is being cut from the poison. Do you deny the verse of the Quran? Do you reject the traditions of your Prophet? There are thousands of ways to die. Do you really think that it's a coincidence that Muhammad died exactly the way Quran says he will die, if he is a deceiver and a false prophet? Surely, God has disgraced and humiliated him, and is an example of divine judgment. The facts are enough to conclude that your prophet was an impostor and a false prophet.
In order to respond to a question of such nature, we must examine the evidence in question. In this case, we have to analyze the word used for aorta in Quran and in Hadith. In Quran, the Arabic word used for aorta is al-wachina. Let's take the Arabic root word, watanun. Arabic word mostly consists of trilateral root, which is made up of three Arabic letter, in this situation, wa, ta, nun. The meaning of al-wachina is aorta. Next, Hadith. 4 years before the death of the Messenger of God, he was treacherously poisoned by the enemies, at Khaybar. Yet, some major events with difficult journeys, in a diverse condition, took place in his last 4 years. This includes the expedition of Khaybar, in 628, which was a distance of 171 kilometers, and takes around 3 days. Next year, he went to Mecca for pilgrimage, which requires 440 kilometers traveling in 8 days. Following that year, conquest of Mecca took place, at a distance of 440 kilometers, in 10 to 12 days, where he was the commander-in-chief. In the same year, there was also the Battle of Hunayn, which was 72.5 kilometers and about 1 day journey. In the year 631, expedition to Tabuk took place, which was 629 kilometers and requires around 11 days journey. And the last journey that Messenger of God took, to Mecca, his last pilgrimage, which was 440 kilometers in 8 days, in the year 632. These figures does not include the return journey, only the time and distance to reach the destinations are mentioned, not the events. Furthermore, these journeys were taken in the intense heat of the desert, and was on the back of a camel or on foot, which is extremely difficult. Therefore, it would be impossible for a man, who be on the verge of death, as claimed by the anti-Islamist. Let's examine the word that has been used for aorta in the Hadith. The word used is abhari. Let's take the Arabic root word, bahara, that is the three Arabic letter, ba, ha, and ra. Now, let's examine this word. Abhari means shortness of breath, breathlessness, suffocation. If we compare the two words, al-wachina means aorta, whereas abhari means shortness of breath, breathlessness, suffocation. Therefore, those two words are not the same. If we take the meaning of abhari and try to understand the hadith in context, we will find that the Prophet meant he was facing difficulty to breathe because of that poison. In the hadith, the word abhari translated as aorta is nothing more than a simple error of interpretation. Therefore, there is no connection between that verse of the Quran and that hadith. Questions of such nature is created to make confusion, misunderstanding of Islam. However, a simple analysis of such nature is enough to knock out the brain of the anti-Islamist. Verily, Allah said in the Quran, In chapter 21, verse 18, "Nay, we hurl the truth against falsehood, and it knocks out its brain. And behold, falsehood doth perish. Ah! Woe be to you, for the false things ye ascribe to us." Please, convey this message with your family, friends, neighbors etc., otherwise, misconception of such nature will just grow without any solution. And follow us on YouTube, at youtube.com/user/ncapcs.